For 10-3, we're going to skip this top part, and we are going to start with the diagonal of a right rectangular prism. And if we have a 3D shape and we want to find the diagonal, we're going to do length squared plus width squared plus height squared, and then square root the whole thing. So the first one, length plus width plus height, we will have 6 squared plus 8 squared plus 10 squared. So 6 squared plus 8 squared plus 10 squared equals 200. And then when we square root that, we get approximately 14.14. Letter B, the height of a rectangular prism. That's what we're trying to find. 12 by 7-inch base. We are trying to find the height, and the diagonal is 15. Well, we're going to have to work these things out. And when we do that, we have square root of 193 plus h squared equals 15. From there, we will square both sides, and that becomes 193 plus h equals 225. Subtract 193, and h squared equals 32. When you square root both sides, you get right about 5.7. And letter C, we have a cube, so length, width, and height are all the same. 5 squared plus 5 squared plus 5 squared. So that becomes the square root of 25 plus 25 plus 25, which is the square root of 75, and we will call that right about 8.7 centimeters. If we are drawing something in space, we're going to have an ordered triple, X, Y, Z, and you will notice here the X comes forward, the Y goes to the right, and then the Z. So you come up and down, or come out first. We want a prism that is 5 units in length. So from here to 3, we're going to go 5 units to the right, 3 units wide. I'm going to make it, actually I guess we should, well, let's make the 5 go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The width then will be 3, so the width will only go that far. And if we draw, this 3 units was the back. If we draw this as the front and this was the left, we can draw a parallel line for the right hand side. You can see the base of that shape forming. Now the height is going to be 4 units, so we come up here 4. And then we need to go 3 to the right. Again, 5 to the front. And then we're going to drop the sides there. And then we're going to draw the top in. And you will see this is 3 units, this is 5 units, and that's 4 units. Letter B, a cone with a radius of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when we draw the base, we draw more of an oval than a circle. The height is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to draw a cone, so it's going to look like that. And I'm going to change our last one. We are going to make this a cylinder. We're going to make the radius 5 and we're going to make the height 3. So the radius is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to have, this is our base. The height is 3. 1, 2, 3. And we can draw the sides here. And then we draw the top base. And it looks something like that. The next two three-dimensional ideas we have are distance and midpoint. And these are just like our two-dimensional ones, only we add the next x, or the next variable. So x minus x squared, y minus y squared, plus z minus z squared. And the midpoint formula, x plus x1 over 2, y plus y1 over 2, and z plus z1 over 2. So first one, to find the distance, we will do 2 minus 0 squared plus 8 minus 0 squared plus 5 minus 0 squared. That becomes 2 squared, which is 4, 8 squared, which is 64, and 5 squared, which is 25. So square root of 93, which is right about 9.6. Midpoint, 0 plus 2 divided by 2, 0 plus 8 divided by 2, and 0 plus 5 divided by 2. We end up with 1, 4, 2.5, and we call that an ordered triple. Letter B, start way off to the left here. X minus x, 6 minus 4 squared, 11 minus 6 squared, and 3 minus 12 squared. That becomes 2 squared plus 5 squared plus negative 9 squared, which is 4 plus 5 plus 81, square root of 110, which is right about 10.5. For the midpoint, we're going to do x plus x over 2, y plus y over 2, and z plus z over 2. So we end up with 5, 8.5, 7.5. Letter C, I am going to do 6 minus 0 squared, 0 minus 9 squared, and 12 minus 5 squared. 6 minus 0 is 6 squared. 0 minus 9 is negative 9 squared. And 12 minus 5 is 7 squared. So that will be 36 plus 81 plus 49. And that ends up being the square root of 166, which is right about 12.9. And the midpoint, we will have 0 plus 6 over 2, 9 plus 0 over 2, and 5 plus 12 over 2. That ends up being 3, 4.5, 8.5. And the last one, 12 minus 5 squared, 16 minus 8 squared, and 20 minus 16 squared, 7 squared, 8 squared, 4 squared becomes 49 plus 64 plus 16, which is the square root of 129, which is 11.4. And the midpoint, 5 plus 12 over 2, 8 plus 16 over 2, and 16 plus 20 over 2. That becomes 8.5, 12, and 18.